Welcome back to Ironsworn Starforged, my continued campaign through the wonderful preview edition created by none other than Sean Tompkin, the creator of Ironsworn itself, and his new Kickstarter for this amazing game. We are busting our way through the final steps of the Launching Your Campaign chapter of the preview edition, and we're probably going to see some gameplay in this hour. I think so. We've already, what am I saying? We've already seen gameplay. This whole thing has been gameplay, but we may get to see some actual story, some RP happening in the moment for this session. I'm excited. I am nervous, but mostly excited to have Kurt Pines back in the world, back in my mind. It'll be quite interesting. So where last we left off, we were on the final part of the Launching Your Campaign section, where to begin your adventure into the Envision and Inciting Incident step. Excuse me. So yeah, envisioning our inciting incident. Some notes on this. It gives you a few, like, hey, your inciting incident is the problem at the beginning of the story, which propels your protagonists into action. You can draw from your truths, from your character, or from the sector, all the things that we've sort of built together in the backstories with the quest starters that we have, the connections that we've made, and try and compile one from that. But here's the question that I want to keep in mind, and I always struggle with inciting incidents, but I do find them to be very, very good for getting the ground running with these. But what makes a good inciting incident? One that is personal, doesn't go away on its own, has a ticking clock, ups the stakes and limits the scope. Ups the stakes and limit the scope. A little more detail on those is, if the quest seems too mundane, you envision factors which make the inciting incident more interesting or complex, and then limit the scope. Don't try to save the universe out the gate. Don't make it too... Make it important. Make it high stakes for you if it feels too mundane, but don't make it the end-all be-all quest. You're just beginning your story. So I'm gonna try the make it personal is the hardest one for me, especially with this character as I'm sort of reviewing this. A problem that won't go away on its own and has a ticking clock is very easy for me to do. Stakes are easy. Limiting the scope can be kind of hard for me. Sometimes it's hard to make something not that important, at least seemingly important to me. The game has a good way of sort of turning that on its head and making things I thought were important not so important. It's very good at doing that. So it has a nice table for if you get stuck. You can some suggestions are rolling on the action theme tables, roll on your character goal oracle and give it to yourself, or pick from this special table that they made below. I'm actually going to, I know I'm going to take from one of my quest starters, actually. I was scanning through these earlier to think about which ones I might be interested in engaging on. I've highlighted a few that I find might actually be worthy of quest starters here. So I picked them because they fit so well with my starting sector. My starting sector has a lot of influence in the things going on in the starting sector, and with Unity Station in particular, I'm very interested in engaging in early. So the two quest stars I'm interested in are: an insurgent organization seeks to make knowledge available to all. To that end, they ask your aid in stealing important data from an outpost belonging to a corrupt organization. What information is held there? Why is it so important to you? So this one is very close to what I'm thinking. So if we move over to the sector page from things that we have built previously and zoom in on what will most definitely be the beginnings of my adventure here, which will be Very interesting. I feel like I'm really jumping into it with a precursor vault out the gate, but hell, that's what I rolled, and that's fun. That's interesting. So, um, let's break down this quest starter, and then I'll talk about the second one that I've highlighted as well for some adjacent interest in it. Um, so an insurgent organization seeks to make knowledge available to all. I feel like that is important to my character because of their background. Because even though their background is technically reduced knowledge, trust me, I know, they have something inside their head that they want out. They want to be rid of it. They're afraid of it coming back to haunt them, kind of thing. They've had, I'm imagining that Kurt has had, or Gutshot rather, has had some disturbances. I think odd dreams. I know that's a very, visions and dreams are a very stereotypical thing for any character to receive in an RPG, but there's such easy segues to things. I'm not going to get too into those, but I think he, in one way or another, he's got a twitch, he's got an effect of some sort, and he feels like it has to do with something in and on his person within his locked away memory, and he wants it gone. He wants it wiped away. He doesn't exactly want to learn what it is. He just wants somebody who can make it go away. He wants the right rigor for the job to replace that part of his frontal lobe or whatever the hell it is, to like get this information out of his head. Somebody else can deal with it. He doesn't want to deal with it. But I think he's been struggling. He's been struggling in the Forge, and I think communication is something that is definitely holding that back. Him finding a person to be able to help him with this sickness that he has, this thing that he thinks is going to come back to haunt him, that is affecting his sleep, affecting his paranoia. He just wants it out of there, but he's trapped in this dark age of the Forge, where much of our knowledge and availability to communicate is very, very difficult. We have endured, ships and outposts endure prolonged periods of isolations, and rumors or disinformation are used to gain advantage or undermine foes. He wants to see that kind of cut away a bit. He wants to see the connections become easier. He wants, for himself even, a better way to communicate across the stars, across the many outposts of the Forge, and see if he can find the person he's looking for to be able to do this surgery, brain transplant, magic paragon shit, whatever it takes to get this thing the hell out of his head. I think he has sided with this insurgent organization, which we're not going to immediately detail, I don't think, to seek out this knowledge and make it available to all. He wants a piece of it. He wants a piece of that availability. And to that end, they have asked me to steal important data from an outpost belonging to a corrupt organization. Well, guess who that is? Just take a wild guess. It's your boys, Unity Station, with a corrupt authority. They are wielding a precursor vault. If you're just joining me, they literally are using a precursor vault as a orbital station, a terraforming station to make planets into livable surfaces to be able to mine their precious resources, their energy, and use it for powering, I don't know, maybe their own ships, maybe their own situation. We do know that they are, the authority in the Unity Station is the one of the Triumvirate, the first, a religious organization, one of three that hold quite a lot of power, quite a lot of sway in the Forge, and Unity Station is one of the bases they have gotten a hold of, their Death Star, as it were, and they are attempting to wield precursor technology, and in so far are successful in that they know how to make the station move, and they know how to use its terraforming capabilities. And what else? Who knows? But to continue, what information is held there? Why is it so important to you? I'm tying, so this quest starter works so well because it not only tied in with Unity Station, it not only tied in with my character wanting to be able to have a bigger reach in their background story to find out what the hell is wrong with them, to find somebody who can fix this problem, or maybe who knew him in the past, in his past life, and can, you know, wipe away this this terrible memory of his that he wants nothing else to do with. Or maybe secretly he wants to learn more about it. Who knows? But it ties in those two ways, but it ties in a third way with our bond here, with our contact that we have on Unity Station, Voldar Warden Wolf, the Warden, an individual who we detailed last time as being somebody who was the head of an operation in Unity Station to go into its deeper levels, into its sanctuary, as it were. What's it called? Not a sanctuary. What's it called? One second. Let me see what the precursor. I'm looking at my other screen here. Yeah, precursor vaults. They go into precursor. So, like, just kind of a cool thing, just for like a thought idea, the level we're dealing with. That's one of the pictures for a precursor vault. Pretty fucking cool. Pretty cool shit. So the Sanctum, that's right. I think that they are only in the interior as far as what the occupying tens of thousands of people are occupying the interior itself. And that the Sanctum is something that is in the process of being accessed. And Warden, our contact, is the head of the team going in there to find that tech, to bring it back to the interior and give it to the authorities of the Triumvirate to research and understand more of this great precursor weapon they now hold. Weapon, who knows, or just power. A fucking ship of theirs, a vault that is movable. So yeah. I think that as far as that quest starter goes, what information is held there? I think that Warden made some form of contact with this insurgent organization, because Warden's whole thing is he wants to get this. He's working behind the scenes with the Triumvirate. He's going behind their backs and selling away a lot of the material instead of giving it to them that he finds in the Sanctum for his own benefit, and also because he doesn't think that the Triumvirate's going to be able to hold on to this place for long. He has seen things in the Sanctum. His warnings have gone what's the word? They're not taken seriously, and he thinks that Unity Station is a powder keg that will eventually explode, and wants something to do with it. So he's getting out of it what he can, and he wants to get the hell out of there. We know his goal is to make a profit and get out. So he found something in the Sanctum, probably some technology, some communication technology that he doesn't know, heads or tails of what it is, but he believes it has something. He probably believes it has something to do with communication. Knew that this insurgent organization was looking for a way to make knowledge available to all, and figuring they've got nothing to lose, they might be desperate for something. He put out a call, a rumor, a contract, as it were, that has only just now reached them. Probably has been quite a long time, since our communication is very, very slow. When word finally reached the ears of this insurgent organization that Warden had found this precursor technology that could be of use to them and of use to me. And I already know why it is important to me, which is pretty cool. So I'm kind of feeling this being my inciting incident. My first mission, I think, is to get in and steal this, make the pass, get to Warden, get infiltrate inside of Unity Station, get to Warden, get the information, get the device, and get out. I have a heist basically. I don't even know if it's much. I literally just have to get to Warden. I have to make the call to like turn around, and I think his plan is going to be to disguise himself as like somebody who's going to be under the Warden's employ, kind of thing. Who's going to work for him, and maybe something like that. I don't know. Maybe a better plan. I don't know. He could just be landing and pretending to be like a trader of goods kind of thing. And he's going to be lying. He's going to be deceiving his way in here. He's got to deceive his way past triumphant authorities, get onto a space dock, get into the station, and find Warden and get this thing. That's my inciting incident. How I'm going to do it, I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out yet, but I'm feeling that as my first quest starter. It works for me. The second one that I highlighted was a rogue AI, and this fits with the sector trouble of Ebon Threshold, where Unity Station is located. Of a rogue AI infiltrates the systems throughout the sector, and there's a quest starter that says a rogue AI has taken over a transport ship. The fate of the crew and the passengers is unknown. What critical cargo did this vessel carry? So I was trying to think of how to like maybe combine my two quest starters, which I thought could be interesting, but if I do, I kind of take away a little bit of the heist, and I also encounter the sector trouble very, very early, so I almost wonder if this second quest starter is just an idea for maybe another mission soon, or if it's maybe I'm going to become the factor of this quest starter. I'm going to be the transport ship that had its AI taken over, and the fate of the crew and me is unknown. What crucial cargo was I carrying? Ooh, so I don't know. I just kind of like to keep it in mind of a possibility, an inspiration that this rogue AI is kind of an issue in this sector. So I think that's where I want that to be. So I'm going to list that as my inciting incident, because that that fucking works for me. Let's yeah. Let's do that. We're gonna call it our. Oh, geez, we need to go back to begin adventure. There we go. So inciting incident. Put those in parentheses. And let's get this quest starter out just so I can get some good, because I need to sum this up in like a sentence. Retrieve. Oh, goodness. Is that how you spell retrieve? Retrieve. Okay. I don't know how to spell anything. Retrieve. Please tell me. Okay, there we go. Got it. Pow. Beep. Okay. Retrieve a precursor communication device from Warden in I almost said Citadel Unity. I feel like Citadel Unity would work almost better than Unity Station. We're gonna call it. I think it should still be called Unity Station. Citadel Unity is cool, but I only like that because of my my Citadel game, my enclosure game. Fuck. So I think that's our inciting incident, and I think it is definitely. Oh, you know, I never really thought to do that. Let me just quickly get my snipping tool, because that's gonna make my life a lot easier. Let me just. Don't you worry about it. Watch out. Okay, cool. File, save. This is how I do a lot of these extras. Dots, save. We're gonna break the screen a tiny bit. We're gonna bring this over. Okay, cool. I just wanted to be able to fill these in. That works for me. I gotten so used to how to use Roll20 that it's pretty easy to plug these bad boys in. I'm gonna have to fix that across a few versions, but cool. We have it there. It's good to go. I believe it's going to be. I think we need to rate this dangerous or troublesome, right? I don't think it gives me a direct like uh uh instruction as to how to start it. Let me see here. To set your quest in motion as a response to the inciting incident, make this move, envision the vow, write the vow, and give it a rank. So this is the starting vow, hopefully, such to give it a rank of troublesome or dangerous. Yep. So troublesome or dangerous. I'm gonna immediately just mark it as dangerous because I have to go into a place where they could easily kill me for stealing. Like the shit that Warden's up to is pretty sketchy. I feel like this is already fairly dangerous, so I'm gonna mark it as a dangerous um, inciting incident. It makes sense to me. Okay, so what are my moves and abilities here? 1 second. Okay, lying, bluffing, stealing, cheating, plus good. I was like, Scoundrel's gonna help me here, right? I need it to help me. I need to be able to get through this. So the second thing is to set the scene. And based on the nature of your inciting incident, where do you begin your story? Are you in the depths of space, about to encounter some mystery or danger? Are you at the settlement you detailed in the previous exercise, ready to take on an urgent sworn mission? Yeah, so setting it, so going with a prologue or going with in media res is the is sort of the decisions that it gives you here. A prologue is like starting with a little bit extra. In media res is putting you right in the action. So a prologue is going to give me a chance to introduce my character, introduce my ship, get a little bit of extra role play in there, and then we step into the situation. In media res puts me, I think, literally right in Unity Station, like already docked, already in the thick of it, already being questioned. Like I kind of want to do a prologue personally. I kind of want to take it a little slow. I don't know if I want to jump right into the action personally. I'm old school in that I enjoy having in this moment. I think I'm old school. I enjoy having the time to get to know the character a little bit. Let me see if I can change my audio here to something that will fit here. Let me see here. What's this sound like? This is too chill. This is too chill. I don't know that lo-fi hip hop is gonna fit. No, lo-fi hip hop is not gonna feel right for this. I think it is just going to be this. I'll do space ambience. See if maybe I can get something just a little more subtle. This is deep space total relaxation. It is kind of chill. I'm into it, at least in the beginning. Let me see. Space ambient music. Huh. You can't hear these, by the way. You already know that. Space station? I wonder if I should just leave this on. This is kind of... I'm kind of chill with this. I'm literally just listening to a deep space, like just the sound of being in deep space. Just the sort of emptiness of the void, which I'm into. So, I believe that if we're going to set the scene here before we roll the dice themselves, 25 minutes in, I definitely am going to be doing some stuff. The first scene that we see, I mean, you start with the ship, right? What else would you dig into the first thing that you see? I think we see skipping its way out of its drift drive, making its way through. We can just sort of see. I think, yeah, as most sci-fi's begin, our camera pans across a starlit sky. We see the red, sort of fiery space in the distance of the forge itself, always surrounded on all perimeters, on all sides of our cameras. That sort of red hue, and we can just sort of see the bits of red, just globule space in beautiful stretches across the expanse of the sky itself. And we can see, I don't know if you can see drifts per se, but I think at least when a ship is coming out of that level of like space travel, the faster than light, what's it called? There's like a name for it. I actually need to get that name. I just realized. Anomalies, people. I should make one for phrases, don't you think? It's called like, I can't even think. It's like ion. I need to know it. I need to know it for sure. Phrases. And this one's going to be blue. Let's make it blue. Pachow. Oh, that's too bright. A little darker. Okay, that's better. You go there for transparent and phrases, and it's going to be whatever the faster than light is. I need to go back into the basics a little bit, and dig into how we get around. Momentum, action roll, legacy tracks, condition meters, impacts, assets, equipment, vehicles. Huh. Making moves, is it? I feel like it's up here. Resolving the outcome. Is it welcome to the forge? Let's go back to the beginning and just see if I can find the art for it. Because the art will immediately be will be right next to the actual details. Right here, right here. Here we go. Navigating the forge. Where was this? In the was it in Welcome to the Forge? I don't know. Well, it was somewhere in here. Sometimes these chapters are hard to navigate. There it is. Eidolon travel. So let's actually get these listed. Eidolon travel. I'll call it Eidolon travel. I'm sure there's a proper name to phrase it. This is the faster than light space travel, and I think we're going to also need to list. I know I'm diverging from doing real roleplay stuff here. This is how I play this game. It takes me a while to step into it. E drives. They are, yep. So it's Eidolon drives / E drives. They are the devices, yeah. FTL devices used for Eidolon travel. And then we have, yep, so drifts and passages. I definitely just need these listed, or else I'll never remember their names and I'll be screwed. I'll be like, what is that? Having just like a little appendix of all the names is really nice. Drifts are, it is, yeah, network of paths through the forge. I'm gonna say Eidolon. So I'm sorry if it's Eidolon. I'm gonna do Eidolon. Correct me in the comments if you think it's something different. I'll probably still say it the same, but go ahead. and a passage, a course of drifts, and an anchorage. Ooh, and an anchorage is it's a segment of a journey. So powerful gravity wells. Okay. Yeah, so it's a waypoint in a passage. Okay. All right. That all makes sense. Was there anything else there that I needed to remember as far as phrases? Okay, cool. We've got it. So, as I was saying, we see the just like I don't think you can actually see the drifts themselves, the actual like paths. And if we go back over to this illustration, I really like the way these look. I love the idea of how it describes traveling eidolon travel through drifts as catching a wave, like a surfer catching a wave. And I think that they're invisible to the naked eye until a e-drive is used to engage on them, and we can see them very briefly at the beginning, and very briefly at the end of them entering and coming out of space. When you're in the vehicle, if you're looking out of whatever sort of space window situation you have, you probably can definitely see the red waves you're traveling on, and I feel like it's something that a big difference, I think, of this faster than light travel than other faster light travel of sci-fis that have come before is it's not the kind where you can just kick back, or you're like, all right, we're on the next mission. Let's or we've hit the faster than speed. Time to go to the space pool and faster than light button. Let's go to the space pool and take a nap. I think it's like a constant like having to manual this shit to ride this wave much like a surfer and do so, or else you just sort of would get kicked off the wave. You wouldn't travel with it any further unless you were constantly engaging your ship in properly riding the wave itself. So I feel like space travel and space navigation itself is done by skilled individuals. But I think our first scene would be just seeing those red almost threads, almost. Oh man, this is so cool! Literal webs. I'm literally like surfing the web on my spider ship. Literal like red webs we would see just sort of begin to like almost like twist out of the sky in like a spinning star, like a spinning star shape almost, and we would see it sort of like moving around, almost looks like a little wormhole with these red lines, and they would then immediately we would see a flash, we would see a streak, and the webs of the strings of that sort of slowly spinning like spiral of red lines would immediately streak and stretch their way across the sky, very similarly to the way this looks, to show that a ship has just sort of ripped its way out of those webs through a wave and has made its way breaking adrift and stopping at an anchorage proper. Always gotta say proper. Fucking critical role, damn it. Stuck in my head. And I'm trying to catch myself and not do it as much, but it's whatever. The Unity station can be seen in the distance. We see this small little ship just sort of screech out, and in the way far back distance, we can see this thing that I need to go back to really quick on the actual Ebon threshold, because it had some interesting details. It is a typical site of limited scope, and it's incomprehensible. What is this? Let me just look up this word. I know what it means, but I need to know more. So like I want to make sure I'm thinking of it right. Comprehensible. So like not understandable, out of touch, not able to be understood, not intelligible. Yeah. So I think because it's also spiky, and also because of the way precursors vaults work themselves in our truths, if we go back to precursor vaults, um, they are corrupted and ruined, others unmarred and intact. Some are both at once. They are chaos. Um, their gravity and atmospheres pay no heed to natural laws. They appear spontaneously, washed up like flotsam in the tides of time. And I think that they are very like they're not there kind of thing. And I think that it's very similar to like what we're seeing, where parts of it are completely like unmarred, intact, just as it says here, and others are just like very very corrupt looking, very torn away. And because it's spiky, as we detailed, one of the it's metallic and spiky. I think it literally just looks like this huge ball of spikes, but like no like center ball, like circular orb in the middle. Like it's not like a big circle with spikes on it. I think it's all just spikes jutting out. I'm definitely thinking very akin to, if anybody has seen the first Star Trek movie by is it Joss Whedon? Goodness, I can't remember. It's the new Star Trek movies. There was a bad guy mining ship that had like all these like spikes coming out of it, and it was kind of like crazy to see. It had so many like strands to it. It didn't make a lot of sense like how it would even function. It had so many like layers and pieces. It looked like somebody cut an onion on one end, and that was the spaceship. Like they flayed an onion on one end, and it just looked kind of insane. It was a big old onion ship. I think like that's similar to what Unity Station looks like, but with all of these sort of spikes sticking out. I'm actually going to go back to my previous music because this is far too relaxing. Let's get back to good old Crying Suns. Can't go wrong. And we see that sort of eerie station in the distance, and even further back we see the grave world of Osiris. Very, very, very far in the distance is the bathing red light of the nearby star, the smoldering red star. So we're definitely dealing with a lot of red space around us. And as we see that string of red drift cords just splayed out, that tiny little ship sort of shoot across the sky and come to a slow. Our next scene would immediately cut to this fucking rust bucket. We would hear, because we're in the sort of expanse of space and it's fairly silent. There would probably have been like a very atmospheric like drone like tone, and then immediately we're met with this like metallic sound as we sort of smash cut right to the outside looking in, right through the the window that you know the pilot would look through of this ship. I'm imagining it from because it doesn't have its landing gear out, so we don't see the spider legs, but I do imagine it's segmented very much like a spider, in the ways that it is, with very tiny up front and bigger near the back, and basically looking like a legless spider in some ways. But the head itself is just tiny enough for that cockpit. Looking right through the cockpit window, we would see this man. We would see our character, fucking gut shot Kurt Pines. And I've already kind of described him a little bit. He's bald. He has these huge sideburns, a scar on his face, prosthetic arm. He's wearing a tactical vest, has a cigar in that's burning on one side of his face, and fucking combat boots. And one of those feet is probably up on the dash, in the middle up on the dash. And he's got like one arm over the other chair. It's like being in the front of a car. Like the dude's in the front of a van, man, basically, is how this, is how this cockpit looks like. It's the dual chair. It looks like the cockpit from your Millennium Falcon situation. It's got 2 chairs up front, and he's just got one hand like hanging over the other chair, this car in the other, and one other big old burly hand, hair on his knuckles, over the steering wheel of this thing. The actual like driving apparatus, which I imagine is the U shape, the standard, like being able to grab both of the joysticks kind of thing. And as our shot goes up there, like I said, we can hear this sort of rustling of the metal. It's an immediate like immediately just like to the ears of this thing coming to a slow, and we can just hear it rumbling, and it's a surprise it's even like fully put together in this situation. It's definitely a scrap heap of a ship. I'm describing my boat as really bad here, but I think it holds together in all other respects. It just looks like a dump. And yeah, we can see he's got, like, this is the kind of ship where he's got the fuzzy dice hanging from the rear view mirror, if there was even one, kind of thing. And he takes in a big, like, so we have that front shot of him looking through the cockpit window, and a big old puff of smoke, like we see him for a moment, and then like he inhales and just exhales, and his breath goes right through the cigar, and smoke just fills the cabin, transitioning our next scene to inside. And the minute it stops, we can feel the ship begin to rattle to a slow. Our scene now within the actual cockpit, probably just looking over at Kurt Pines from the perspective, I imagine, of the passenger's seat. He takes the cigar out, the cabin already just sort of filled with smoke. All right, Wade, give me a readout. And we hear Wade come in over the comms. What do I want Wade to sound like? I have some voices here. One second, let me check out, see what this voice is.
Hello, I am Wade.
I think that's the best one. I feel like it has to be that one, just because it seems so cheerful. Yeah, so he leans back in the chair. All right, Wade, give me a readout. Tell me about this godforsaken sector. And he just dips some of the ash in the tray, and you can hear Wade come in over the intercoms.
Certainly. I can tell you all about Ebon Threshold. Ebon Threshold holds 3 significant settlements. 1. Unity Station, currently in the occupation of the first of the triumvirate authorities.
And he's just going down the list, just so like, and the whole time he's doing that, we can see Kurt just sort of barely sort of paying attention as he sort of goes down the list of all the normal things that he's supposed to. All the meanwhile, we can see screens sort of just like new sort of hologram screens popping up in front of him, one at a time, and he's not really looking at any of them. He's just sort of listening to Wade, and I think he like cuts him off as he's just droning on about all the different like segments and sections of the area, and he's about to get to like the sector trouble, like all the other stuff, and I think he cuts him off. All right, Wade, all right, enough. What of the ship? What condition are we in coming out of that last wave? It was a bit rough for me. Give me an analysis.
Certainly. Our hull is slightly damaged. It is suffering 87%, and it's
goes on. I don't know a lot of a lot of text speech for that. Probably more or less just I can't really think of like what it would currently be suffering. I think it just goes without having to go into like a lot of like technical detail that I don't know all the bits of. He goes on a list of all the percentages of like we only have this much air, we only have this much of this during that drift. We only suffered 10% damage. I think we lost. Oh man.
I think we may have lost the TV antenna.
It's just he just kind of like get a new one, just like roll his eyes. Not that we even have space TV, but maybe some kind of like antenna communications to be able to. I imagine some of these settlements have like a bit of radio that it like comes in when you get closer to a planet. That makes sense to me. I like the idea of there being a radio because this whole time, by the way, that we're in the cockpit, I'm only imagining that there is fucking space country music going on in the background. I know I'm hitting a lot of stereotypes here, but that is what is playing in the background. There is some fucking dinky song happening in the background that's just on repeat. It's like home on the range. just like we can just hear it just going off in the background in a very just docile tune, and it's just playing the whole time. And yeah, I think we can hear Kurt say, and the E drive. That's what I'm talking about, Wade. How's the damn E drive? Don't tell me about everything in the frickin' ship.
Of course. It is completely discharged. It will take some time for it to come back online, as usual. I believe it may require some attention, though. I am not getting any responses in its systems. It may or may not be in the process of recharging. I am unaware.
Probably busted a cord. Fine. And yeah, we see him get up out of the seat and head back into the ship. As he opens the door to the cockpit, I think immediately the ship itself gets bigger and bigger. We see its sort of chambers open up, but all the while they are utterly empty. But we can always hear that din country music playing anywhere you go. It's playing over whichever speakers are working, whichever ones aren't. And as we see Kurt make his way through these chambers, he stops every once in a while to move, like probably like grabs the speaker and like turns it when it's not working, like plays with some wires and gets it to play again. He goes back, sees a button flashing, clicks a few things, like he's like grabbing. It's like when you go into a house that's like not all together and you know all the broken parts, so you're just like pushing things back where they belong, putting them off for later, not really fixing them, but just sort of putting some old elbow grease into it to get it to work. He catches a few things like that until he makes it into probably the E drive sector. I'm imagining at this point it's just looking like a server room filled with all of these just sort of like rows after rows, like a library of just fucking cords and motherboards and all this shit. And I can just imagine him going back to like a big old machine that looks like a furnace that is the E drive, and he's immediately climbing in there to mess with stuff. Because I think probably his probably just damn E drive breaks every time I come out of drift space. He's just pulling on some cords and trying to get everything in the way that he that it's supposed to be. And we can finally sort of see him just one big hairy palm just right to the not hairy palm, hairy back of the palm, but we can just see that huge sort of calloused palm rather slam in probably a like row of wires probably attached to some sort of bridge or something, basically a plug, and that came unjostled, and he shoves that in. All the while he is smoking. Smoke is sort of filling that area. He never is not caught smoking a cigar. He always is. And we can hear it start to charge up, and he climbs out. He closes the furnace side of this thing and just sort of leans an elbow on it. Working now, Wade.
I believe all operations are now functioning normal, Kurt Pines.
Told you to call me Gut Shot.
My information logs are unable to hold any further names. You have introduced me originally as Kurt Pines. That is the last name in my entry log. Until I receive an upgrade.
Yeah, shut up. God. I'm heading back to the cockpit. Make sure nothing overheats here.
Of course.
And he makes his way back, and I think on the way back, just to show a feature of my ship, just because it's fun. This is all a part of. I know it's a bit much, but this is all a part of the way I play this game, and also the where is it? The setting the scene. There's a lot of scene setting happening here, and this is my prologue basically. And I think we see him make his way back up to the cockpit. He probably had to go all the way to the back of the ship to mess with the fucking E drive. So we probably saw him go through this whole thing, which just has multiple levels, multiple layers. Should be a ship that is functioned by a few people, but he's got it down to a science where he's doing it on his own and with the help of Wade. Like Wade is really the crew here, and our captain, Captain Kurt. Oh no, Captain Kurt! So close to Captain Kirk. He makes the commands here. He calls the shots. As the joyful Wade carries on. And I think, something to note about his starship, which I think is kind of fun. So the origin is I won it in a bet that I cheated on. The person I cheated it from probably will find out eventually and want it back. Also, they might want me dead. I think this was probably at some point, I'm imagining this belonged to like a Legion leader. Like this is an old Legion ship that I have definitely modified to a degree, and it's something I won, I think, before I left the Legion. And it probably, it was probably supposed to be for soldiers, so we probably would see him passing like barracks and stuff that are empty, see him passing like a few like rusted up, probably non-functioning like fucking mech pods for like super suits kind of thing, like a lot of like materials that he's kind of let just go to waste over the time that he's had the ship, or they're just covered in dust, they're not functioning, he doesn't have the energy packs for them or whatever they need. And it's definitely a ship that belongs to a larger crew, but he is manning it all by himself. But something that's interesting, and I like the idea of the ship being big. We know it's segmented landing gear and folds into gangly spider legs, which I think is something he probably added on later. And phantom music sometimes echoes through the corridors. So I think we've got the whole every single. So here's kind of a fun thing about Kurt that I don't think I knew, but now I do know. He's creeped out by that. I think that freaks him out a little bit. He doesn't like the weird phantom music, and I think that's why we hear this drone make its way through every corridor, even though it's empty. All the speakers are going. He probably fixed a few speakers on the way here of just this country music radio, space radio that's going on in every room, because he wants to drown out hearing this phantom music. And I think he's making his way through one of those barracks corridors where it's just got these like different levels. Looks like a prison cell gate, or like a prison cell block kind of thing, where it's got the different levels going up, the different doors, with the balconies that go up like 3 stories. So he's walking through one of those, completely abandoned all the way up. We're getting like a top down shot on that, and he's making his way through. He's got a cigar. We can hear those combat boots hitting the sort of metal grates of the floor, ting ting ting, all the while that country music goes out in the background, and then we hear it kind of like screech out a little bit, like it's getting cut off the radio waves, and we hear it replaced with this soft song of I think we can hear a woman slowly just trickling in, and it plays and echoes its way through the chambers, and it's just this soft little song that has no words but just tones, and begins to just sort of make its way through. And Kurt stops immediately. He pauses, and we can sort of see the light from his eyes, the smoke from underneath the cigar, and he immediately takes it out. Wade, and he echoes up.
Yes, Kurt. What can I do for you?
Did you change the music, Wade?
No, I don't believe I had adjusted your music radio station. It should currently still be playing Old Yonder.
Which is probably the song. He says, adjust the station, Wade.
Attempting to.
And within a few moments, we would hear it static back out, and the a new song would come on, and it's do. Just immediately start playing. I gotta fix that. And he just he just keeps moving, and we can see sort of the stress in his eyes, like maybe he's a little bit of afraid of his own ship, maybe a little bit of afraid of, I mean, I know it's definitely a meta, afraid of his own loneliness here. It could be in his own head. Even he's asking Wade, and Wade's like, currently playing Old Yonder. And it's like, change the song. It's like, immediately switch it up so that he doesn't hear this fucking ghost in his head. And he just makes his way back to the chamber, and we can also see he has something with him. He grabbed something from probably one of those chambers in the back. He has a box with him with some wires pulling out the side, something definitely purposeful that he's carrying with him. The minute he gets back into his cockpit, he sort of slams it down on the dashboard, takes out the cigar, puts it in the ashtray, sort of puts it out in there, smoke still filling the room around him, and he grabs the box as he sort of leans down underneath the dash of the cockpit, and he looks at it, looks it over, and we can see it has like some sort of branding on the side, but we can see that in its small text it's a cloaking device of sorts, and we can see it not so much a cloaking device, but we can see over it it's like some form of like communication device or identification, but like an identification module. I think that's what it is, not a cloaking device. It's like an identification module, and we can see it has like the branding of the triumvirate on it, of the first on it, and we can see it's got like a bunch of numbers on it. It's a fucking fake ID, basically, is what this is. And you can see it's fairly new. It doesn't belong to the rest of his ship. It's definitely ramshackle, like put together. He probably picked this up in a station before in anticipation of this of this encounter. And we know just from the scene set of where the ship is that we are in Ebon Threshold. We are probably only an hour or two away from getting towards the very distant in the distant Unity station. And he takes the box, looks it over. We see the label, we know what it is, and he says, now to figure out how to hook this thing up. And he's like got himself in the back of like, it's very similar to like when we see a mechanic go onto one of those like roller skateboard things and get under a car. That's him going under the dash. He's got some sort of board or metal thing he's under, and he grabs the box with the wires, and he goes under, and we can see sort of the static go out from below. He probably had the goggles that he slipped on, kind of thing. He probably had some tools, and he's going to preemptively rig this identification box onto his ship so that he can dock in Unity Station as, I'm going to guess, somebody of the faith, from one way or another. However he's going to do that, he wants to be seen as an ally, so he's rigging his ship to do so. And I think in doing that, I think we need to do our next part here. I think we need to actually make the move. Swear an iron vow, make our first move of the game. Quite a few episodes in. And yeah, we're almost up in the hour, so I think let's roll it, see what we roll, and know what we're gonna be coming back with. I think that'll be fun. So let's we've set the scene. we are setting up our infiltration box to make it into Unity Station. Let's see what we swear iron on. So we're swearing with we're adding heart, which isn't great. I feel like I should be able to swear on something else in this situation, but that's fine. So we only have a +1. If I swear this vow to a connection roll, I don't think it's to a connection. Not yet. Not a big connection. Vow. Wait. So if you swear this vow to a connection, add +1. Share it to a bond, +2. I think I am swearing it to a connection in this situation in one way or another. The deal is to go with, like, Warden is in on it. He's in on the deal as well. I am the one making the transfer. I think that's the best way to do it. I think this transaction is supposed to be more or less between Warden and the insurgents. What are they called again? Quest starters. I'm avoiding this roll, don't you worry. We're gonna roll it. The insurgent organization. It's between the insurgent organization and the Warden. I'm just bridging the gap, but maybe neither of them know that I actually want something out of this. So I swore the vow to Warden to make this transfer for him. So maybe I've been to Unity Station before. I think I have, because I've made contact with him. So this isn't the first time I've smuggled something out of this place. So I think I made the vow to him. So I'm going to give myself a +1. I'm swearing it to Warden that I'm going to get this piece of information to this organization so that he can get paid. And then he thinks all I want is money, but what I want is what information they're going to be getting from this. I want to know what it is, what kind of communication we're going to get. Let's make the roll. Let's fucking do it. We've waited long enough. +2. It's +2. 1 for my heart, 1 for the connection. Okay. It's a 5. It's a weak hit. I take +1 momentum. I'm hesitant or anxious. My next steps are unclear. This will typically lead to new scenes and new moves as you try to gain a foothold to uncover more about the situation. I think I'm going to steal something straight from Star Wars. I think the weak hit is as I have this cloak on this old device. I think the weak hit is I'm going to add the momentum. Ba-doop boop. We hear them come in over the radio. Wait, I have a radio voice, I think. Let me see if it works. Beep beep beep. I know I have it. Let me try some voices really quick. Beep 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 beep. Hello? No, that one works. What about this? That one doesn't work either. There's one that I think CSCT would work, but isn't there one that looks like I'm just coming right in over like there's one that makes it sound like I'm coming right in over like a speaker that I really love. I want to just have it so that I can know it's in my area. Orbital, no. Police bot? 1 second. Let me hear this one. Testing. No, not that one. I'm not sure which one it would be. I think the best one was that one I just did. We would just hear him. Yeah, we would hear him come in over the radio. I think that's where we leave off. The weak hit is Vessel 8732. Your credentials are outdated. Please dock yourself in Security Bay 5. I think I find out that my my identification box is not is not actually like up to date. It's not up to snuff. I got sold a shitty fucking ID box to get back in because I don't want them to know who I am. Maybe I've had trouble here before. And I'm trying to get through it fairly easily. I just want to get to Warden, get inside, and this box was supposed to get me into a a docking station that I wouldn't be harassed at, and now I'm going to go one that I am going to be harassed at to some degree. So yeah, let's end it off there. Very interesting. We'll have to see what happens next for our scoundrel. I think we can see as that call comes in, so that last scene just goes, damn it. No, I should have never trusted a spice trader. And he's just like frustrated at like the bad deal he made at whatever sector he was previously. There's a spice trader in every sci-fi. Okay, there's plenty of spice to go around, and yeah, cool. That's where we're going to call the first section. Now that the move has been made, the next steps will happen. We're into the game, and we're going to see how we do getting through this first part of the incident. I think if we get past this, this sort of like if we get into the past security and into the station itself without much issue, I'm gonna be trying to deceive my way through. I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna have some fucking hologram clothes or some shit to make me look like somebody else. I think we'll mark success if we can get in, and then we have to find the warden for more success, and then we have to get out for ever more success. And I think maybe around 6, maybe we just roll for progress and shoot this thing over to who it belongs to. I'm all about it. All right. That's everything. We're 6 minutes over. Thank you for joining me. I'll catch you for the next one. Take care. Bye.